Some breaking news tonight from the New York Times revealing that the White House is now blaming the escalating showdown with Harvard University on a mistake. Apparently, according to the New York Times, Harvard University got this letter on April 11th. It had all these demands for major policy changes like government oversight of admissions, hiring, the ideology of students and staff. We've been covering that here all week. But we are learning tonight, courtesy of the New York Times, that the Trump administration now says that letter was actually shared without authorization and should not have been sent to Harvard on Friday. The New York Times reports that some people at the White House believed it had been sent prematurely. Others in the administration thought it had been meant to be circulating among the task force members rather than sent directly to Harvard. CNN's senior legal analyst Elie Honig is back with me on the phone. And Elie, I just want to walk people through essentially what happened here, because what the New York Times is saying is that on Friday, Harvard got this letter. It had all these demands. They had been in negotiations about, what they were going to do here. On Monday came that response from Harvard saying, we're not going to capitulate. We're not going to sign on to this. We don't agree with this. It threatens academic freedom. And the New York Times reports that after they came out with that statement, they got a frantic call from the White House saying, we actually didn't mean to send you that list of demands.
Well, Caitlin, it makes perfect sense to me that this was sent out in error because the letter itself is so outrageous. It's so obviously unconstitutional. It so obviously violates the First Amendment. I mean, this letter has a series of 10 demands, one more onerous than the next. One of the demands, just for example, is the White House, the U.S. government, instructing Harvard, a private college, university, you have to do a full audit of your student body, of your faculty, for their ideology. And you have to make sure that you have whatever we deem is an appropriate balance of political ideology. I mean, this is so flagrantly against the First Amendment, it actually doesn't surprise me. In a way, it's reassuring that there were people in the White House who did not intend for this to go out.
Well, and the White House is responding to this report tonight. A senior policy strategist, Mae Mailman, says, quote, it was malpractice on the side of Harvard's lawyers not to pick up the phone and call the members of the anti-Semitism task force who they had been talking to for weeks. She said instead, Harvard went on a victimhood campaign. But as the Harvard officials noted here, it was on official letterhead. It was in line with what they'd been hearing from the officials. And it came from a federal government employee. So, I mean, it's not surprising that they thought it was legitimate here.
Okay, so the White House's position is it was malpractice by Harvard to not realize that this letter was so outrageous, it probably wasn't true. I mean, that letter came from. I mean, I think that statement actually just sort of gives away the whole game. Essentially, the argument that we're hearing there